Well,
Hey.
hello, Cynthia.
Hello, hello, Jen. How are you?
I am wonderful. How are you?
I'm doing great. Happy to be talking with you.
Yes, today we are talking about marketing news, fun marketing news.
Yes,
So,
yes.
so
Very important
uh,
distinction.
yes, and this week is my turn. So you're going to hear a little bit about Pinterest, of course. But let's go ahead and start with the OpenAI news because I thought it was really intriguing. So I'll go ahead and read it and then you can tell me your thoughts.
Sure. Yeah.
Massive funding and valuation. By the way, we're going to have the links down below in the show notes, but massive funding and valuation. OpenAI has raised over $6.5 billion in a new funding round, boosting its valuation to $157 billion.
Oh my God.
That's kind of insane.
A lot.
This makes it one of the largest venture backed startups globally, along companies like SpaceX and ByteDance, which is TikTok's parent company. Strategic investors. The funding was led by Thrive Capital with major contributions from Microsoft, Nvidia, and SoftBank. Microsoft, a longtime partner, invested an additional $750 million dollars on top of its previous investments to date, highlighting its reliance on OpenAI's technology for its Azure cloud services. OpenAI plans to use the funds to increase its computational power and drive forward cutting edge AI research. Despite the immense revenue growth, the company faces significant expenses related to the AI model development, projecting losses of up to $5 billion dollars this year.
Wow.
Wild.
That's crazy.
It's a little wild. What are your thoughts? I mean, OpenAI, I feel like was the first public. Like I know Google had done some things and other people have done some things, but OpenAI or ChatGPT seems to have been like, just like went out on that stage quickly.
I think it was the first time that it became more of like if you could say, like a household tool, and in a way that is just relatable, I guess human to some extent, right? It's not human, but it became just accessible. That's the word I was looking for. Because it's right, AI has been around actually for a very long time, a very, very
Yeah.
long time. But we maybe saw it or we experienced it in a way that was just very like in a mold or in a way that, we're not really able to express and explore. And ChatGPT specifically, created this whole other level of a relationship, right, with our AI, that, and especially for a small business, a new tool that is very impactful, really impactful. So,
Yeah. I mean,
yeah,
it's changed I feel
yeah,
like it's changed my life to
yeah,
give me more time back in my
yes,
day.
yeah. Yeah. So I guess with this news article, but we can talk more about AI too, is that obviously all these big companies see that it's got this huge potential, but it sounds like, well, the projecting losses, I mean, to me there, it's like you kind of gotta lose before you win. Like, I think that's a great learning because I feel like, again, when I was starting my business, I was just always scared of making mistakes in what I was investing in, like I was like, oh, I bought this course, I didn't use it, I suck, blah blah blah. And now it's like, no, like I have skin in the game. I go all in, and if I lose some, that's a good sign. That means that I've got skin in the game and that things are moving forward, right? And even if some investment didn't turn out how I wanted it to, it's still progressing. It's still inertia forward. So I think that that's so interesting that a huge billion-dollar company, is getting all these investors, even though they have losses. And yes, it's AI. It's like a huge, we know it has a lot of, it's changed the landscape forever. But that part of the news bit is interesting to me.
Yeah, I appreciate that they're still in that investing and development and research
Yeah.
phase because I feel like, everything can get better, but the fact that they are investing means that they're invested in being a player in this space for the long term.
Yeah.
I mean, $157 billion is their valuation. That's huge. So it also means that the investors, the people that are sort of making businesses out there with their money, right, believe in this as the future,
Yeah.
right? So I take it also as any business owner that maybe hasn't jumped on AI, which I don't know very many of them, but any that don't, it might be the time for you to jump in a little bit, put your baby toe in there. It is amazing. It comes up with recipes for me. There's like we're going to have a whole podcast on things we use AI for, but it doesn't have to just help with your business.
Yeah. Yeah, no, definitely. I've been using it for, I used it recently to help me plan some travel expenses. I was using it to plan for the same trip my packing list because I have
Love it.
a 2 year old, almost 3 year old. And I was like, I don't know what to pack for her. I struggle. So I just asked it, look, I'm traveling here. This is the time of year. This is the temperature. I tend to go cold. Like I told it that, like I tend to be a cold.
The more information you give AI, the better results you'll get. Like that's a no-brainer. Smart.
And it did a
Smart.
really good job. Like it gave me, and it was just such a relief because, just anyway, it's like you said, it just gives back so much time. The other thing I was going to say, encouraging these businesses who haven't gotten into it is to start thinking about seriously like how it is impacting your industry, right? So me as an SEO expert, a lot of people have said, well, has it taken away work? No, I don't think it has. I think it's changed how people see SEO because maybe someone who was like, oh, I need, Cynthia's agency to generate title tags. They're doing it with AI, but we don't want those kind of clients anyway. Like, I want clients who want to future proof their SEO. They're not just using ChatGPT, yeah, like reactively, I guess, if that's in a way. But I personally am looking at how am I providing more AI services to my clients. So right now, a little behind the scenes, I'm working with some of the, developers on my team to do GPTs, to create GPTs for my clients so that they get ownership of their own AI and they can, generate content and stuff like that. So I guess I've seriously, as an SEO expert, I'm having to reinvest in my own business to look at how we're adapting. And this is the nature of online business. I don't think there's anything to be scared of. I think it can be exciting. And I think we need to like embrace the change and yeah, see it as an opportunity instead of this. I don't know. If you want to do some like do another industry, be in an industry where things never change. But I don't know is if there is such an industry. Things are always changing.
Correct. And everyone's always fearful at first, and
Yeah.
there are things that could go wrong.
Yes,
So of
absolutely.
course we want to be thoughtful
Yeah.
about that. But just like you don't want it to write your blog and then just put it up,
Right.
right?
Right.
Because then you're not creating really helpful content anymore if you're not a piece of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought it was interesting news and I took it as a good sign that they're still investing.
Yeah.
Same as you did. I thought
Yeah.
that was interesting.
Yeah. We're
All right,
definitely
let's
talking more about AI.
Yeah, we're going to do kind of a whole podcast episode of our prompts that we kind of use it for. So if you're listening and you want to go to one of our social media sites or our actual social media site for the podcast, let us know your favorite prompts and then you might see it on our episode.
Yeah.
All right, Pinterest Inclusion Fund. Have you ever heard about the Pinterest Inclusion Fund? It's an incredible initiative supporting creators from underrepresented communities, helping them to grow their businesses and make their mark on Pinterest. Whether you are a BIPOC creator, part of an LGBTQ plus community, or someone with disabilities, the Inclusion Fund is here to offer financial support, educational resources, and opportunities to thrive. So if you or someone you know is eligible, check out the link that we have in the show notes to be able to apply for it. It's a really incredible opportunity and it's for a niche underrepresented community. So if you're part of that and you're using Pinterest, I highly recommend that you apply for it.
Wow, that's incredible. That's nice of
Yeah.
Pinterest.
And this is like maybe the third round, I think. Like Pinterest is very much about helping represent underrepresented people on there. They created tools like hair types so that when you're searching on Pinterest, you can search for your hair type for the content. Body positivity, you can go on there and find clothing in whatever size you are. Like it's a happy place to be.
I'm sure it
I
is
love
then
it.
if you're on there.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Another piece of Pinterest news. This is slowly rolling out, so you may not have it yet, but Pinterest has a new look. And I will put some screenshots in here. So if you're watching the video, so if you're listening to the podcast, maybe go jump over to YouTube to be able to see these photos or check the show notes. But it has a new look. So it used to be that there's a cover photo above with the circle of your profile photo and then the profile description. And then underneath that are pins. It's now gone to landscape. This is for desktop only that I see. So in the old look, you oftentimes on a desktop won't even see the pins. Like you're just seeing that. So I always kind of complained about that. Now they're putting the picture over on the right and all the details on the top. So when you're looking at it on desktop, you see all the pins below, or at least one row of them, depending on, how zoomed in you are or how big your monitor is, right?
Right.
And when they roll things out, Pinterest will typically roll them out slowly, which is why my newest account has it and my oldest account doesn't. It's weird. Like you think they'd give it to all the
They're
old
probably
account, but
testing for errors, so they do test.
yeah.
Yeah, that's how they do testing. They don't roll it out to, because if there was some bug or something, if everybody had it, it would just break everything probably. So they do it slowly. Yeah.
Yes. And then Pinterest has a new feature that they're rolling out. It's exciting new feature called collages. They did have it in an app, a separate app, but now it's sort of rolled into one. So you can easily create and share collages of photos or things that you loved on Pinterest effortlessly, bringing your creative vision to life. So, whether you're planning a mood board for maybe brand photos or designing a project or simply sharing inspiration, the tool is making it easier than ever to customize and collaborate with others. So, the link will be down there as well.
I love
And
this.
I know it's so
Good.
fun. And my last piece of news actually is Tailwind. Tailwind, which is the original third party platform for Pinterest. There are others out there now, but it's still, I look at all of them all the time. And Tailwind is the one I still go back to every single time in terms of time savings. They now have a new pin scheduler. So they got some grief for the new pin scheduler because it's like up and down, and you have to then scroll through all five
Oh
pins
my
to
god.
enter information, which
Yeah.
is a pain. And so now the new pin scheduler looks like the old publisher, which FYI, you can ask for that if you wanted to. But it's really cool. It has all the pins sort of in the middle section. And over on the right, you can see your whole schedule and where you have holes to like fill it up. It's incredible. And I've been working with Tailwind on interval pinning, which if you pin on Pinterest and you want to save time, the cool thing about Tailwind is you can create 5 pins, 5 different titles and descriptions, all going to the same URL. And you can then pin those 5 pins to 2 boards going out over 10 weeks.
Wow.
So you're not being spammy, you're not doing any of that. And they're working on adding that hopefully soon. But I don't know, to the pin scheduler. So that's very exciting news because that will literally, if they get that to be done, that will probably save me 3 hours in a week
Whoa.
with Pinterest work. So yeah, it's
Whoa.
really, really incredible.
It's so important to invest in these platforms that are always updating and improving themselves. I'd say like that's my number one tip when you're shopping around, because there's so many platforms out there, right? Is like look at how many releases they have, how often do they release, and do they seem in touch with their audience where they're really doing things that are impactful.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Are you dabbling in Pinterest?
I'm not. I was just thinking like I did have a workflow for my pins, but I just lost track. But I could just have my VA help me. I'm sure it wouldn't take too much more time. You've inspired
I
me,
mean,
Jen.
you inspired me about SEO. I need it to rub off in the other direction.
Yeah, no, and Pinterest is a huge opportunity. I see it, It's just
It's
hard.
always my number one refer
Huh.
compared to anything else.
Well,
So
well, I'm
YouTube is right below, and I tend to get more clients from YouTube, which is interesting.
hmm.
But Pinterest is just driving traffic to my website, and I could not live without that traffic.
Yes. Well, I am just opening up my Tailwind now, so who knows? Maybe very soon I'll be. So, Jen, you have an event coming up. I want to hear about it.
Yes, it's the Creative Marketing Summit, and it's to learn how to find, attract, and book your ideal client. So it's all marketing experts. There's going to be at least 30. I'm hoping for even more than that speakers, but I'm also being very niched down. I want to make sure that they're really good speakers for you.
Yes.
The thing that people who have gone to the other 2 years of this have said to me is that this is the most actionable summit that they've ever attended,
Wow.
because they leave with things that they can do, and every speaker offers a freebie so you can dip your toe into new things and new marketing areas that maybe you haven't even tried, and it's free. So why not? It's going to be in February 2025, but you just go to creativemarketingsummit.com and sign up for your free ticket.
Yeah, and I also want to say it's not just for new businesses. I
No.
myself was recently, I mean, this is a big mindset thing. Like I was like, well, I've already learned everything. And I was like, things change. First of all, things change, right? It's so important to adapt our marketing, our copy, our messaging, like that stuff. What worked before might not be working for you right now. So don't blame like the algorithm. I hear people all the time blaming algorithms, like leave the
I
algorithms alone. Like,
I'm all, take that energy that you're wasting
yes.
complaining and go get some work done.
Yes, yeah. And then the other thing is and we have a whole episode that we're going to do on this is you need to be constantly inspiring yourself in your business and your marketing is a key part of that. So joining an event like Jen's is going to give you that good energy, that good vibe to create the best content and make sure it's strategic, but really like just feel good when feel good with what you want to do best. Like if you don't want to do all the things, that's fine. But it's really important to be inspired.
And it's also a really good opportunity for networking with
Yes.
female service providers. Like,
Yes.
other people do sign up, even if
Yes.
you're not a female service provider, but we are trying to be geared toward
Yes.
that. But the networking is incredible. I've seen people in the community go off and do a project together, and it's really, really fun.
Yeah. Love it. Oh, I can't
And
wait.
it's free.
You keep saying it. Yes. Yes, it's free. But you'll have some VIP options, right, Jen?
Yeah, I mean, the cool thing about this year is when you do sign up for the VIP, which right this second is $59. I don't know if it'll still be that by the time you
Mm,
listen to this.
okay.
We have different levels, but when you pay for the VIP ticket, you not only get all of the speakers this year in an education platform so that you can go back and rewatch, but you get all of the last 2 years of speakers as well. So I
Whoa.
mean, that's like almost 100 speakers.
That's crazy.
Mhm. I know, it's kind of fun, huh?
Okay.
Everyone tells me, "Raise those tickets." I'm like, "Well, we're gonna see what I wanna make it accessible." Like, that's really the most important thing to me.
Yeah, I like that. Awesome. Ah, so good.
Alright. Alright, well, we'll see you next week. Have a great day.
Bye.